Okay, we'll call the meeting to order of the Alcohol and Tobacco Subcommittee. We'll be hearing House Bill 273. Do we have a sign-up sheet for people to sign up that might want to speak for or against it?
Sir, should be over there.
Should be a sign-up sheet, okay. Make sure everybody's signed up. Representative Ballinger, if you'd like to go ahead and present your bill, please.
Yes, sir. It's a simple little bill.
Actually, can you turn our mic on? Because apparently they are working.
What?
The mics apparently are going to live stream. They're just not able to be heard here. I don't know if you want to turn her mic on.
Which mic is, which,
I just got it from Media Services. They said they're getting it on the live stream, that you just can't hear the mics in here.
All right.
is that it?
Okay. Yeah, my light is on.
Okay.
So, okay. It's weird.
Good, thank you.
Anyway, so this bill, House Bill 273, I'm working from LC 364507. On the meat of the bill is on line 16 and 17. What it does is, in lieu of right now, you have to have a 35% population signatures in order to get a referendum on the ballot to sell liquor. This would allow an ordinance or resolution from a governing authority. So, in other words, the city council could vote to put it on the ballot. It still goes on the ballot. The population still votes for it. It just changes, it just opens it up and aligns with the process for approving package sales with other processes for approving beer and wine, such as liquor by the drink and Sunday sales. 35% signature. A lot of the cities have just bypassed. They've grown too big, and it's just a hurdle too high for them. Some of the cities that have spoken in support are Beaufort, Noonan, Sylvania, Cochrane, Auburn, Tifton, Commerce, Millen, Sugar Hill, Sonoa, Fayetteville, Snellville, Bowden, Lula, and also my hometown of Canton. We have a tequila maker in the city of Canton that would really like to sell their product to consumers. It's supported by GMA and ACCG, and I'll be more than happy to stand for any questions.
Thank you, ma'am. Any of the board members have any questions? What member? 10?
Number 6.
What number?
6.
6. Okay.
Thank you, Chairman. Does this strictly deal with the authorization of licenses but not the removal of licenses?
Yes, it does, and that is specifically dealt with for the purpose of submitting the question of whether or not the issuances of licenses, that's found on line 23 and 24 for the package sale of distilled spirits. Lines 23 and 24.
Thank you. That's all, Chairman.
Thank you. Anyone else have any questions? Thank you for joining us.
Bruce, do you want a copy of the bill? There you go. There you go. I got it.
Okay.
Thanks.
They were hearing House Bill 273. We're hearing House Bill 273. Any other members have any questions or comments? The sign-up sheet, where is it?
Should be right over there.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Tom Gill for GMA. I think right at this end, witness mic 2. Thank you.
So thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. My name is Tom Gale. I'm the Director of Governmental Relations for the Georgia Municipal Association. So GMA supports House Bill 273, which we think is consistent with the General Assembly's recent efforts to modernize the alcohol code. So, as Chairwoman Ballinger said, many cities and counties have grown substantially since the countywide referendum on liquor package sales were established in state statute after the petition requirement was met. We have a number of cities across the state: Noonan, Tifton, Statesboro, Canton, Fayetteville, Chairwoman Ballinger mentioned some of the cities in her district, but also counties that would welcome the opportunity to place a referendum on package sales on their ballots. This measure, as Chairwoman Ballinger mentioned, is also supported by ACCG. Todd Edwards with their staff has given me permission to make sure that we put that into the record. So just a brief history. This petition requirement was put in Georgia law in the 1937-1938 term of the General Assembly. It has not changed since then, when it was put in place soon after, on the heels of the repeal of prohibition. This antiquated, anti-competitive petition requirement is an artificial barrier to allowing locally elected leaders to place a referendum on the ballot to let their voters decide whether package sales of liquor are appropriate for their jurisdictions. So Chairman, again, we support, be glad to try to answer any questions if you have any.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate your coming forward. Does anyone have any questions? Here you go. And what does that sheet say right there?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I guess to Mr. Gale, as I read and understand this bill, really not taking out the ability for citizens to do the 35%, but it gives the authority to the local government, their duly elected officials, to be able to place this on a referendum. It's still going to be voted on by the people of the local community, be it a city or county. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think the Vice Chair reads it the way I read it, and I think that this is not removing that petition requirement, but allowing the local governing authority to make a decision to just put that on the ballot. And again, you all have to understand, at the end of the day, the voters make that decision.
With a referendum. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Anyone else have any questions?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the
you.
committee.
Stoney McGill, if you'd come up and take a seat, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Stoney McGill. I represent the Georgia Alcohol Dealers Association. We're a trade association of about 500 retail, Georgia-based small businesses. The Georgians I represent have invested in the retail liquor industry based on a set of rules and regulations that have been in place for a long time. And honestly, we feel like our industry as small businesses is under attack. And once again, we kind of feel like we're under attack again this year. We're opposed to the changes in this legislation, basically out of fairness. Several of my members have gone through this process. We've done several petitions over the past few years to wet an area. We've done Jackson, Georgia, Loganville, Georgia. We are working on two small cities in South Georgia right now. I am aware that there's a Senate version that's similar to this bill that lowers the number, and we would definitely, if it's got to change, we would rather keep some petition in place, but maybe lower the number from 35 to 20%, like the Senate bill says. That would be a better position for us. Again, out of fairness for the investment and the time that our folks have spent going through this. Every time that liquor by the package is, and let's face it, liquor is different. It's not beer, wine, it's not groceries, it's different. And every time that liquor is on a ballot in a community, packaged liquor, it is met with opposition. Usually there's church groups and whatnot that are opposing liquor stores coming into the community. And we feel the petition requirement gives time for the community to understand what's going to happen, what's going on in the community, that liquor stores are coming in. It gives the city council time to promulgate some rules and regulations on what if liquor comes in, what that's going to look like. But again, I just ask that, as fairness, to the small businesses that are currently existing in Georgia, that, you vote no on, this bill.
Okay, thank you, Mr. McGill. Does anyone have any questions of Mr. McGill? Comments? Okay, thank you, sir. Appreciate the testimony. Does anyone else here wish to speak out on this bill that hasn't signed up? Speak now, forever hold your peace. Okay, what is the committee?
Move to pass.
Have a motion do pass. And a second. All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? We have 2 opposed. I tell you what, let's raise your hands for aye. Okay. 2 opposed. The ayes have it. Bill does pass. Go on to full committee. Thank you. Any other business before the